How's your day going? I hope it's been a good one for you so far. So I'm Linda, and this is Lilybugs Library. And we're going to talk today about the five-star book that I read this week. Yes, I think it was this week. I have to think about it, but I finished it this week anyway. It's Marilla of Green Gables, and this is the story of Anne of Green Gables' caretaker. I think of her as her mother, but she wasn't really. But it's her caretaker, Marilla. And it's the story of Marilla as a teenager growing up in Avonlea. And I thought the book was amazing. Obviously, it's not written by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I couldn't say for sure, but I think that author is probably deceased. I'm not sure when exactly Anne of Green Gables was written. But this story was definitely written by a fan. Someone who had read the Anne of Green Gables books, someone who loved them, and someone who really took that to heart when they did the story. So I thought it was really well done. I really got that sense of Avonlea when I read it. The farming community in PEI and Prince Edward Island, where Anne grew up and where Marilla also grew up. And it's the story of how she comes to be kind of the way she is. Because you know, if you've read the Anne of Green Gables book, that Marilla has a soft heart, but she has a bit of a crust over it when it comes to showing emotions. And you always kind of wonder in the Anne of Green Gables book, why is Marilla living with her brother Matthew? Why did neither one of them ever marry? And so it really, starts to play on you what exactly happened there. And this book gives an answer to those questions and many more. So it starts out with Marilla being around 13, maybe a little younger when it first starts. And as she's growing up, her Aunt Izzy from St. Catharines, Ontario, comes to visit her. And at first she's a little taken aback by that. They don't usually have company. And she doesn't like the fact that Izzy comes in to help her mother when she's pregnant, and kind of takes over a little bit. And Marilla is already very much used to doing her part in the family, and she feels a little bit like Izzy is taking her place with her mother. And so it's a bit of a power struggle there to begin with, but Marilla kind of adjusts to that. And then from there it goes on to what happens to her as time goes on, and how as she grows up, there is also a love interest. And, it's kind of a back and forth relationship that she has with John Blythe. And I couldn't say for sure because I'm not as big a fan of Anne of Green Gables as many people are. And although I have read them, it has been a while. But I feel like Gilbert in Anne of Green Gables, I think his last name was also Blythe. So this could be his father, possibly. So it's about their relationship and what happens with that. And also how Marilla starts to interact with her aunt as she gets older. So it does have, I think, a really nice writing style to it. It really stays true to the Anne of Green Gables books with that kind of, just a very kind of down-home style where you can really get to know the characters and really feel what they're feeling, and you can picture them in your mind. You can picture the place. She does a really good job of describing Avonlea and Prince Edward Island in general, and it's very heartwarming and I don't want to say cozy because it's not really that sort of mood, but just a very rustic sort of feel to it. And I really enjoyed that part of it. And it is, let me see, I think when it comes to how it measures up to Anne of Green Gables, I thought it did a really good job with that. There's a lot of good side characters. There's some people in the town that you kind of get to know a bit. Marilla's best friend, who we have met in the Anne of Green Gables books. It shows how Marilla grew up alongside of her. I was trying to think of her name, and it is Rachel, yes. So you get to see how Rachel became the way she is as well, and how she and Marilla became friends, which was just quite cute, actually. And it has a lot of, like I said, a lot of side characters, a lot of kind of side storylines that are going on too, with her Aunt Izzy and with Matthew. And so there's a lot in the book, and I just thought it was incredible. I did look at the reviews, and they're actually quite mixed. Some people really enjoyed it, thought it was terrific. Others didn't think that it measured up to Anne of Green Gables, didn't think that it was at all like Anne of Green Gables. So I don't feel that way, but hopefully when you read it, you won't either. But there are lots of people out there that think that. So I thought it was a great book. I gave it 5 stars, and I actually am going to take a look for that author and see what else she wrote, because I'm kind of interested to see. So hope you have a great day. That was just a quick overview of Marilla of Green Gables, and it was my 5-star book of the week. All right, talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye.